So, the Houston Rockets are young, exciting, and ready to rise up the ranks in the NBA. There's so much talent on this team, and after a season and season of not much to expect and somewhat disappointment, this Rockets team is on the verge of something special. When we talk about young duos in the league, there's a ton of good ones spread out throughout the NBA. In my humble opinion, Jalen Green and Alperen Sengun make for a major dynamic duo as they can use their skills to work off one another, or if one of them is off the court, the other can create for themselves to help this team out. When you see these plays where Green comes to get this handoff from Sanchoon and shifts back the other direction in such a quick manner, it makes the defense need a map, and after a couple dribbles, he can then stop and pop right at that elbow. This shows just how well he can create space to get his shot off even if the defense tries to overplay him. And then showcasing his scoring versatility even more, you see other times where the defender decides to overplay the handoff action once again. But since they go under the screen, it's even harder to get back over to recover, so now Green has the major advantage, and instead of opting into a mid-range pull-up over Jokic, Green knows he has the speed advantage and can blow right past to go slip this in off the glass. The ways which Green can go get a bucket is simply amazing, and as he polishes his game, the efficiency should tick up as well. Most of Jalen's contribution comes from the offensive end as he can be a more than electrifying scorer, but when you flip to his partner in crime Sanchoon, you can see a blend of both scoring and setting up teammates to get easy buckets. When Sanchoon makes these threads right through the defense before they can even react, it displays his keen facilitating skills, which helps this team succeed. And now that he's in rhythm after seeing his teammates go score the ball, well, this is when you see Sanchoon stay patient getting into this post up, but once making contact, he spins off the defender into the paint, gives an up fake while stepping through, and instead of going up on two defenders, Sanchoon spins back yet another time to then sink this baby hook. As you can see, both of these guys can uplift this team in many ways, and as the season approaches us, the Rockets should be in for something very nice. When looking at the team stats when these two share the court together, you can see they spend a total of 24 minutes on the floor with one another, and the team shoots 48% from the field, 36% from deep, and dishes out 12 assists. The value and potential these two have is extremely high, but there's something not right going on over there in Houston. Over the past season watching the Houston Rockets, I don't think they have been utilizing Sanchoon and Green the right way at all. Now, this isn't me acting like I'm the know-it-all guy or I can step in and fix everything, but as I've analyzed game after game and play after play, there's certain spots where Sanchoon excels and there's certain spots where Green excels as well, and I think the Rockets should look to get them in more of these actions, or for better words, put them in the best positions for them to succeed. When you watch Jalen Green on the floor, you can see that he is a highly touted young talent in the NBA, known for his explosive scoring ability. He possesses a versatile offensive game capable of driving to the basket, hitting shots from beyond the arc or the mid-range, and finishing high-flying alley-oops that get the crowd off their feet. His athleticism is obviously a standout feature, with his blazing speed and leaping ability making him a threat at any time on the floor. And with his shot creation, it makes him dangerous from anywhere on the floor as he can put the ball on the deck and make something happen out of nothing. Now, the glaring issue that I see is that Jalen has too many times that he is over-dribbling into shots, or he's just all-out ISOing defenders on route to go get a bucket. Now, am I saying that he doesn't have the skills capable of doing so? Nah, not at all, because Jalen's bag runs deep. But in this league, you have to set up players to succeed, and these options don't really grant him the best looks most of the time. Now, what I want you to do right now is stop and drop a comment of 3 different options, or shall I say ways, that the Rockets can help Jalen Green score the ball more effectively. And let's see if we have around the same 3. Okay, now that you've done that, after I've analyzed every single play from Jalen Green last year, the way the Rockets can help him thrive is by having him work a little bit more off ball, drives off the pick and rolls, and playing the two-man game, or just space the floor out altogether to let him attack. And last but certainly not least, when it comes to shooting, those 2 dribble pull-ups and navigating around the screens give him the greatest looks at the basket. When we start by looking at his cuts to the rim, on all cutting layups and dunks, Green converted these at a 69% rate. When you watch the Rockets night in and night out, they failed to have him work off ball while teammates help him get open, but when they were successful at it, it made things that much more easier. On a lot of these cuts off the ball, you would see this synergy with him and Sanchoon just in full effect, so when Jalen fake stunts against PG here within this triangle action, you already know Sanchoon is going to thread it straight through the middle for Green to go slam it through. This off-ball movement allows Green to flow throughout the offense seamlessly and catch it in motion to go get a bucket. When you have to dribble, and then try to attack the rim, there's room for a lot of error, but with these cuts to the rim, it makes the pass to the basket that much easier. As he gets better at reading defenders, backdoors like this one as LeVert shoots the gap open up simply because the defense is majorly out of place, and now Green can cut back hard towards the basket to lay this in over the smaller Mitchell. Putting Jalen in these actions will not only grant him easier buckets inside, but in turn it results in his points per game averages going up, a possibility to earn more foul calls, and also gets his game in a flow state. When you have a big like Sanchoon who can dish the rock out in many ways, you can benefit greatly off of him, and in the limited actions and time spent together on the floor, you can see that Jalen can work fairly well off of him. Now this is honestly where the eye test kills the stats, and we can all say that Sanchoon proves the numbers aren't everything. At first glance, when you see that Sanchoon only dishes out 4 assists per game, you can start to make judgments about how good he can actually pass the ball, but trust and believe, he can dime up teammates in so many ways it's ridiculous. Sanchoon possesses exceptional court vision and awareness that allows him to scan the floor, which helps him identify passing lanes for potential assists before they even materialize. At such a young age, he demonstrates an advanced understanding of the game's flow by anticipating the movements of not only his teammates, but defenders as well, and in turn it leads to him deceiving the defense completely with his passes. Whether it's from the interior, playmaking from the high post, or just him adapting to what the defense throws at him in a quick second, his passing potential is out of this world, and it helps generate this offense good looks. I'm not exactly saying the offense should run entirely through him, but if they can get the ball to him early within the offense on some of these possessions, it could lead to a better flow, and trust me, that's exactly what this team needs desperately. Now, as we've covered 2 ways that the Rockets could put their players in better positions, I want you to tell me if you agree with these thoughts so far. As we dive a little deeper into their games, when it comes time for Jalen to create a driving lane for himself instead of cutting off ball, there's a couple different ways I would like to see him operate within the offense. When the offense spaces out and it's only Jalen and one other teammate on one side of the floor, this is what we call the 2-man game, and it allows for these slick splits right through the defense for an easy route to go score inside. You can see here that it's only Green and Martin on this side of the floor, so it opens up all the space on the left side of the court to operate, and Green now only has one man to beat inside off the attack, and with his athletic nature, he can convert the layup over Miles Turner to put 2 points on the board. Using the 2-man game creates many advantages for the offense because in theory, you should be able to beat the defense with a pick and roll, and whether it be you scoring or you dump it off, it should result in easy looks and close. As time passes, Jalen will learn to operate even more effectively off of these, but already when you watch, you can see flashes of high level navigation coming off these screens. Like on this play, Jalen stays patient, and after not being able to create anything, he passes away, gets it back, runs Rozier off the screen, and right as the big hedges, Green shifts directions, totally breaking past him, and then just protecting the ball, he high carries over the McDaniels reach to go lay it in home. Other times, since the defense is aware of his great driving abilities, they will tend to sag off these screens more than they should, and that's when Jalen can curl right into that sweet spot to pull up and knock it down. Taking Green out of those ISO situations and giving him screens to use more times than not will help out his driving a lot and also his shooting as well. Seeing him dribble too much with all these combos trying to break defenders down can sometimes hurt my eyes when watching, so more actions like this will simplify his game a little more and make him that much more efficient. Like with his shooting, even Kyrie said it, the 2-dribble pull-up is something you need in your bag, and for Jalen, he has this, he just needs to utilize it even more. Only attempting 2 pull-ups off 2 dribbles per game, Green converted these at a 47% effective field goal percentage. Now this isn't the most eye-catching stat, but it's not bad at all, and it shows just how good of a shooter he could be off a couple bounces if he opted into these looks even more, rather than those crazy combo moves into the pull-ups. The scoring ways could improve significantly, but this isn't all about Green, so I want to touch on Sengun's scoring ability as well. On 4 post-ups a game, Sanchoon only attempted about 2 shots off of these, and he converted them at a 54% rate. Now some of you could probably guess what I'm about to say. This is criminal. Sanchoon needs way more touches down low so he can have more chances to operate inside. When you watch him play, you can see the absurd amount of patience, footwork, and soft touch he has around the rim that can lead to him being a more than capable scorer inside. I honestly wish there was more to say, but simply put, the Rockets need to involve him in more actions and look for him down low a lot more than they do. When you have a big who can move the way he does in the post, it's only right you reward him with some entry passes and let him go to work. The Rockets have multiple ways in which they can use these two, but this is just a little dive into my mind on how they can maximize their potential. As always, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to drop a like before heading over to watch this Anthony Edwards analysis. I thank you all for your support, and I'll see you in the next video.